Born on March 12, 1932 in New Orleans, Louisiana, the Georgian pastor Andrew Young became part of the civil rights movement by organizing voter registration drives. In 1961, Young became part of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the SCLC. He tutored young African Americans in writing, organization, and leadership. Young worked closely with Martin Luther King Jr., going to protests with him, including some very important ones such as the Birmingham Campaign in 1963. From 1964 to 1968, Young was the executive director of the SCLC, helping draft the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In 1968, he became the executive vice president of the SCLC. After being executive vice president, he became the first congressman from Georgia since the Reconstruction era of the U.S. While in Congress, he supported programs for the poor, educational initiatives, and human rights. President Jimmy Carter gave him the role of U.S. ambassador to the UN in 1977. One of his early initiatives was the Urban Mass Transportation Assistance Act, a program to help with the building of mass transit systems such as MARTA in Atlanta. As ambassador, he advocated for more human rights around the world, like sanctions in South Africa. He told President Carter to put $100 million into the Southern African Development Fund protection of human rights. Economic advancements in underdeveloped countries became objectives of U.S. foreign policy. Through Andrew Young's journey from pastor to U.S. ambassador, he has achieved many great feats, including working with Martin Luther King Jr., changing civil rights, becoming the U.S. ambassador, and being awarded the highest civil award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Since then, he's written a few books about his journey. The reason I chose him is for his importance in civil rights. I have never heard of him before, but after researching him, I think his push for civil rights deserves more recognition. He worked with MLK, sends a good message, and changed the U.S. with his presence in the Congress and as U.S. ambassador. He played a big role in opening up civil rights, and he deserves to be as well known as MLK Jr. was because his strides for civil rights were just as important as MLK Jr.'s.